Hello everyone, my name is Kit. The reason why I'm making this video is to share with you my personal experiences with depression, anxiety, emotional aches and pains from life. Something happened to me yesterday that was rather significant to my personal growth, my emotions, my feelings, and I want to share that with you. I have been sick with flu for the past 9-10 days. I've been resting at home, not getting out much, so I felt isolated. I wasn't engaging with adults. I didn't get my needs met. Because I'm an extrovert, I need to be surrounded with other people in order to get energized. When I was at home the last 9 days recovering from my flu, because I didn't get those needs met, I felt drained. I felt exhausted, I felt tired, and the destructive thoughts, the inner chatter, the inner dialogue, the destructive and limiting beliefs were coming through strong and intense yesterday. I was outside running some errands. As I was walking along a girl street yesterday, I felt a huge surge of intense, overwhelming, destructive feelings. I had anxiety, I had aches and pains, I had all sorts of emotions coming up and down like a roller coaster. It was exceptionally painful. It was at that moment of despair where my destructive thoughts and negative emotions got so powerful and intense. I wanted to end that pain, and the only way I knew how to end that pain and leave me forever was to end my life, to kill myself. However, that is not me. It is my limiting beliefs, it is my destructive thoughts and negative emotions all coming together. They were like working as a team. They were powerful. They were relentless. They just didn't want to give up the control and the power they had over me. I found it exceptionally difficult to get through those feelings, destructive thoughts. However, I am very fortunate that I have been through an amazing personal development journey the past 7 years consistently, where I know how to control my destructive thoughts, how to acknowledge my emotions as they come through in order to live a functional and healthy life. It was at that particular moment where I snapped out of those destructive thoughts and acknowledged those emotions to live healthily and functionally. I immediately used gratitude. I was saying to myself, I'm thankful for this, I'm grateful for that, thank you for this, thank you for that. That lifted my mood up. Next, I acknowledged that I was feeling overwhelmed, I was feeling anxious, and I felt better. As I was going through the day, completing my errands, I spoke to people that I knew. I ran into a colleague who is on maternity leave, and I met her baby. As I was going through the day, because I had surrounded myself with adults and I was talking to them, I felt happier. Then something happened when I was coming home from my Toastmasters meeting last night. Again, those limiting beliefs, destructive thoughts and negative emotions came through. The sadness came through. I was drowning in them. I felt I was dying amongst all of these destructive thoughts and negative emotions. I found it difficult to gather myself together. I burst out in tears. I wanted to cry. I was on the bus and I immediately called my hubby to share with him my challenges that I had yesterday. I was bubbling, I was crying throughout the journey home on the bus. After that good cry, I felt much lighter. However, I had a headache in front of my forehead. I get it every time that I have a good cry. It's because I'm releasing tension. I'm releasing those emotions. It's the chemicals that I release that causes these headaches. However, it was this intense headache at the front of my forehead. That's when I got angry, I got annoyed, I got frustrated. It was just a necessary process to go through in order to release those destructive thoughts and negative emotions. It's healthy to cry. It's a great way to cleanse your soul. And I encourage my youngest son, Calvin, to cry as well. It's healthy. I tell him it's necessary. We'll get it out. After a good sleep last night, I woke up feeling much lighter this morning. The suicidal thoughts disappeared and left me. However, I know these episodes will come back whenever I have challenging things coming through my life. What I want to share with you is all it can take for someone to end their life is a moment of despair where they are controlled by the destructive thoughts that are so powerful they don't know what to do with it. All it takes is that moment of despair where people don't have the emotional intelligence to deal with their negative emotions that comes through to end their life. People don't want to end their life. They want to end the aches and pains they have accumulated through the lifetime. We have a responsibility as a society, as a nation, as a culture, as a community to educate people that it is absolutely okay not to feel okay. It's absolutely okay not to be strong, not to be happy, not to have your shit together, because we are human feeling beings. We have emotions, we have feelings that needs to be acknowledged, that is healthy to acknowledge them and to allow them to come through. It is healthy and functional to express our emotions verbally, not just by body language. It is absolutely healthy to tell someone, I am feeling down today, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling anxious. And just be acknowledged, be accepted, be understood that we're having these feelings come through. There's one particular incident yesterday I want to share with you. I put up a Facebook post where I said, and I quote, "Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to be absent for a while as I am feeling down. Exactly 5 years ago this time, I admitted my big brother to hospital for what was to become the last time. Why? He passed away in hospital very suddenly on the morning of Tuesday, 19th of November. I feel so sad and pained." Now, the first comment was from a dear friend who was also born into a very dysfunctional and unhealthy family system. I will read out what she said. "Hi Kit, sorry to hear what you are going through. If you want to chat, feel free to phone me or meet up for a cuppa. Keep your chin up. He is always proud of you and would want to see you happy by looking down at his little sister. Be strong for him and your family. You're doing well, young lady." This message triggered some emotions in me, and I felt very angry that she said, keep strong for him and your family. Excuse me, this is not about him, my big brother, or my family. This is about how I am feeling at that particular moment in time. People do not listen with intent to understand you. People listen with the intent to form a response or reply. I didn't feel she acknowledged what I was sharing with her. I didn't feel that I was listened to with intent to understand my emotions and acknowledge them. There was another comment by someone else, a girl, which triggered my anger as well. "Sorry you feel so... Sending your love, Kit. 5 years isn't long." It was that 5 years isn't long that triggered anger. 5 years isn't long. Excuse me, if you think about it, 5 times 365 is over 1,800 days. I think that's more than enough. So that comment I thought was absolutely unnecessary. Instead, I think she could have said, "I acknowledge how you're feeling. I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling so down and sad." That's all she needed to say. Anything else was absolutely unnecessary. In times like these, it is vital that we don't say too much, because it can be enough to trigger someone's negative emotions from their past aches and pains of life. I thoroughly enjoyed the other ones that said big hugs, sending hugs, Kit. Sorry to hear you're feeling so low. That's all that was needed in that time of me sharing with my Facebook friends that I was feeling down, I was feeling sad, I was feeling pained. When people tell you that you need to be strong for him, her, your family, your kids, blah blah blah, they don't understand that we are not strong enough to be strong for others. We cannot be strong 24/7, 365 days a year, because we're not robots. We have feelings, emotions that comes through 24/7. Until we die, we are always going to have emotions come through our body. We're not going to be able to be strong 24/7, and that's absolutely okay. That's acceptable, regardless of what society tells you, regardless of what anyone tells you. It's absolutely okay to not have your shit together, to be down, to feel sad, to be angry, to be jealous, and whatever the emotions that you have coming through. I want to reiterate, it is absolutely okay to not have your shit together, to not feel strong, to not be able to get your tasks done. It's okay to tell someone, I can't do this. I'm not fit to do this. I am not stable. I'm not up for it. I am not feeling up to it. I just don't want to do it. I can't be strong 24/7. I'm a human feeling being. There is absolutely no need for you to be strong 24/7. You can just stay in bed all day. That's allowed. It is your life. There's no need to follow other people's advice. You should go out for a walk, pull yourself up, get your shit together. Stop mopping about, stop feeling sorry for yourself. When you're in depression, when you're having anxiety issues as well, the last thing you want to do is go out for a walk. The last thing you want to do is get out of bed. The last thing you want to do is do what other people are doing. You just want time to yourself, to gather yourself together from the inside. Allow yourself that time to be down, be sad, and it's okay. It's okay to be that weak self of yours. It's okay to be that fragile self of yours. It's okay to not feel good about yourself. It's okay to not be okay. There's no need to put on a mask and tell people, oh, everything's fine. Yes, my life's great. I've got it all together. That is lying to yourself. That's dysfunctional and unhealthy. If you want to take time out, do it. If you want to stay in bed all day, do it. If you want to stay at home all day, do it. There's no need to follow other people's advice. Get out of bed, go outside. Get your shit together and get your work done, get your tasks completed. Sometimes it's just not happening. I'm sorry. Whether you like it or not, allow people their time to get over their depression and anxiety. Be there to support them. Be there to listen to them. Be there to guide them. Don't be there to tell them what they need to do. They will figure it out themselves. People don't need you to fix their problems. People need you to acknowledge their problems. Make them feel valued and important. When I read those messages on my Facebook, the ones that triggered my anger, I didn't feel important. I didn't feel valued. I didn't feel that people were listening to me with intent to understand. I have not responded to any one of those messages because I just didn't feel like it yesterday. I've left it be. That's okay. I don't need to respond to those messages. I don't need to tell them, you're wrong for saying that. You shouldn't say that to me. It's okay. It's not important because I'm much happier today. There's no need to tell them. They will say what they want to say. People are always going to want to get their point across to you because they live in a different world from you. They have a different perspective of the world from you due to their different life experiences. And that's okay. You don't need to explain to them, look, it's difficult for me, blah, blah, blah. They are not going to understand how difficult your life has been because they have never lived your life. It's like the saying, until you walk in my shoes, you are never going to understand what shit I'm going through. It's similar to that. People are always going to tell you, oh, life is not as difficult as it is. Yes, life can be difficult as it is. You have no idea how my life can be so difficult and challenging, where I'm muddling through, I'm barely keeping my head above water. I feel like I'm drowning some days. Like yesterday, that was a drowning day for me. That one of those days where I felt I was sinking through quicksand. I was fighting to stay above, keep my head above the quicksand. Yesterday was one of those days. And that's okay. And we can't live life having 365 days of happy days 24/7. It's just not possible. I hope you got something from this video. I hope you talk to someone when you're feeling down, when you're feeling sad, when you're feeling whatever that you're feeling. There is no need to keep it all inside and put a mask on and tell everyone, yes, my life is hunky-dory, I've got my shit together, yes, I'm getting it all done, I'm strong. There's absolutely no need. That is dysfunctional and unhealthy. I want to leave you with a message. Even though life has its challenges, this too shall pass.